Hey everyone, so there is this video that I want to download to use for the next Feel the Burn video, and I thought this would be a nice opportunity to further break down one of the things that I had skipped in my big full half-hour sneak peek into what I've been doing. And it covers an issue that I wanted to discuss, which is, am I misleading people? Am I taking things out of context with the way I've edited some stuff? And I believe I am not taking things out of context. I am merely compressing the data, the information, into a much smaller amount of time so I can fit it in, so I can edit faster. But nothing's been taken out of context. So I wanted to show you, this is the video that I wanted to use. My cat's jumping up on my table. And there's a moment when they... this whole video is about the focus group after the fourth Democratic debate. And earlier, she talks about who the focus group was made up of. But later on, they get into a screenshot here where they have text. Now that would be nice. I kind of want to have her saying that while this graphic is on, so I will edit it not in the way that it originally aired, but I don't think I'm taking anything out of context. I'm just mashing together information into a closer period. So you can see, this is how I go about downloading stuff. I can see that the highest quality that's available is 480, but it looks pretty darn good
and Senator Sanders
for
right
what
now,
it is.
She leads significantly
and it's at 480 right now, so that's just what it's got to be. So remember, I copy it, I paste it here, click download. It's going to find the highest quality, max 480. I'm going to click on it, and it starts downloading. I can't remember where my default download folder has been set to. Okay, so it didn't go to where I originally wanted it, but I moved it to the folder, the fifth Democratic debate. That's what I'm calling it. And you can see the name of the file is the name of the YouTube video, but I'm going to go in here and change it to the file structure that I want, which is MSNBC is the network, and then the date that it aired. I can't really see, well, it says, I guess this was the next night. So right now this says it was uploaded on January 18th. I have to remember if that was indeed the day after. Was the debates on the 18th? I think it was on the 17th. I mean on the 16th. So this would have aired on the 17th. But we'll all confirm that. Either way, there it is.
And let's look at more of what
And now I'm going to hide these. I'm going to import this. I can click on this arrow to import, but I can also just click and drag into it. And the newest Final Cut sorts by date, so here it is. Now I'm going to go through and look for those two pieces that I want. Let me get into here. And let me find... zoom in and find around where the date was. So there's 111. This was the night of the debate, so it would be right around here. And this does say the 16th, so I'm pretty sure this was on the 17th, this footage, but I'll double check. There's the 17th. So a lot of MSNBC, and this is the 19th, so it definitely goes in between here, whether it's on one of the other sides of this MSNBC clip. Anyway, let's go looking for the piece that I want.
It was a good reflective group of what is going to be.
She also mentions, or one of them, they mentioned the makeup of the group, of it being African American and Caucasian.
They're responding to Senator Clinton, Secretary Clinton. It's hard to...
When you look at the scoring, even though your focus group believed that Sanders won the debate 27-2 margin, they also, when asked who's more electable in November, they were split, with 15 saying Sanders and surprisingly 14 saying Hillary Clinton. Again, it's a small...
Okay, so she's saying that they were split, and I guess they were for the most part, but he does lead by one. But that's just that's also a lot of information. for this one clip, I like to sort of keep it at, 4 or 5 second chunks if I can. So let's find her speaking.
Won the debate 20, even though your focus group believed that Sanders won the debate 27.
So where do I want to use this? I want to try to use the most minimal amount of what she says while not taking it out of context. And here's what I'm gonna do.
And it's planned.
Well, you point out what resonated, but when you look at the scoring, even though your focus.
So she's making a point that even though there's some positive news, there's also something else. But I'm going to use the moment where she gave the positive news. Now, leaving out her portion where she says, however, it's split, ... I don't think that that's taking anything out of context. I'm using the part that she said in context. She admits that the group was overwhelmingly 27-1 for Sanders, so I want to use that.
But when you look at the scoring, even though your focus.
So I'm going to start from your focus group. In point.
Your focus group believed that Sanders won the debate 27-2 margin.
And she stops there for a second, so that's a nice natural point. So there's a couple ways you can do this. I'm going to do it the slightly more awkward way because I can show you some of the other things that Final Cut can do in the process. So here it is. I'm going to click F to make that a favorite. I can name the favorite something so I understand what this favorite is. Oops, I mean, your focus group overwhelmingly 27-1. Oops. So I know what that means. I'm going to drag that favorite right down here. Okay. So it doesn't have a date yet on the bottom right corner.
He has the momentum right now.
Your focus group believed that Sanders won the debate 27-2 margin.
So even that's kind of long. I mean, you can see just visually how much longer this clip is than all these other clips. This one's a little bit long, but I'm trying to cut them down. You can see how quickly a single clip can really take up a lot of time. So here's what I'm going to do, because we were looking at this clip before, I believe. One of these. And so this is what I did. I choose right click and I detach the audio. I'm going to bring it back up here just to be neat. Now I can start shifting the video around while keeping the audio. I'm actually going to move the audio over here because the one thing I don't like about Final Cut is where it's attached to the video. If I start sliding the video around, the audio comes along with it. So I'm going to just move this, just attach it to something else for now. So right now if I play it, there's no audio because the audio is over here, so it's going to be silent. Silent. And I'm just going to go, remember this is the more convoluted way, so there's easier ways to do it. I'm looking for when the text pops up on screen. And there it is. So now what we're looking at is...
He has the momentum right now.
Compared to where he was just a...
Okay, so now let's bring the audio that we had from before, pop that down there, play it again.
He has the momentum right now.
Your focus group believed that Sanders won the debate 27-2 margin.
Compared...
Crank it up a little bit. One time. I don't know if 12's.
Right now.
Your focus group believed that Sanders won the debate 27-2 margin.
So let's get even closer. I want to trim out as much as I can. And there's a couple moments where she's silent between words.
Your focus group believed that Sanders won the debate.
Sanders won the debate. So I'm going to cut out that chunk of space. Again, now is this taking her out of context? Is this doing anything shady? I don't think it is. I'm just compressing time. So let's...
Sanders.
End it there.
Won.
That's when she starts speaking right here. So I'll trim all of this out. How much does that take away? That takes off Is that 12? That's not 12 seconds. I didn't just remove. I guess that's 12 frames. It's got to be 12 frames. Even though I thought where the zeros are to the right of those are frames. I don't know.
Believe that Sanders won the debate 20.
Hear how much faster that is? Listen to that.
Group believe that Sanders won the debate 27-2.
See? So it's just snappy, snappy. And then she also stops talking early, and I can trim that off.
Margin.
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 So I'll trim that off.
27-2 margin.
Perfect. And so I got all this other that I don't need. So I'll just go ahead and bring that in. And that takes off. That looks like it's saying 25 seconds, but there's no way. I think that's 25 frames. So we've shaved off almost a full second, which a second doesn't seem like a lot to many people in many areas, but in editing, it can mean all the difference.
Mistake. He has the momentum right now.
Your focus group believed that Sanders won the debate 27-2 margin.
Compared to where...
Perfect. Yep. Now I'll grab a date here. I'm going to duplicate it. Drop it right here. And I had marked this as the 18th. I'm pretty sure it's this. I'm pretty sure it's the 17th. And if I'm wrong, well,
has the momentum right now.
Your focus group believed that Sanders won the debate 27-2 margin.
Another thing I could do possibly, it looks kind of slanted. Maybe that's just the coloring. Now, is this cheating? I don't know. If I take this, I do a pull up the color bars, hold the phone. I'm gonna use this mask, add shape mask. I'd like it to be a rectangle. Maybe I'll have some curved edges. Shrink it down. This is the feathering. I'm going to bring the feathering down some. Stretch it out. One time, one time. Now you tell me if this is considered sort of cheating what it's saying. Okay. Okay, so right now everything I'm affecting is inside the mask. I'm going to select outside. Whoops. So 0 these things. Okay. Go outside the mask. And see, I can darken everything around it. So is this considered cheating, sort of narrowing the eye to an area that I want people to see? I don't really think it is, because everything is happening so fast. You know, there's not much time, so I need to point their eyes to things pretty quickly. I'm not sure why the red lines aren't lining up to what's actually being highlighted. This is a little too obvious. So I'm going to bring up the rest some. Maybe bring down some of the mids. But something like that. Is that a little too obvious? Is that a little too misleading?
Make no mistake, he has the momentum right now.
Your focus group believed that Sanders won the debate 7-2 margin.
Compared to where he was.
So there you go. In the end, did I mislead what they were reporting? I don't believe I did. Her but portion of the report was that, oh, but it's split halfway between these two. Well, that text is there, and yeah, I don't include that in this, but the point is I'm trying to highlight where the positives are, I guess. I don't think this is a silver lining. I think that's an appropriate thing to focus on. So there's that. And I guess the bonus thing that I didn't cover, but this is not really the portion, the point of this video, was how I did this stuff. My computer's a little slow. It doesn't show the text until I let go. I was saying that I really just took the footage. Here's the pixie dust stuff. So now there's no dust. Now there is. On, off, on, off. Going into my text, you can see it. It's just a line that... Whoa, excuse me, Leo. Oh my god, my cat. It's just a font that I picked. I'm clicking on the BernieSanders.com logo here, URL. So there it is. You can see I'm using DIN condensed. I love the DIN font very much. And the face of it, which is the color of it, is a gradient from white to blue, from top to bottom. On the Feel the Burn text, I used ITC Franklin Gothic. And again, used the face, white to blue. And I keyframed it. Let me see if I can remember how to show video animation. Here we go. It's scale. There we go. So you can see I've got one keyframe here. Let's go to the scale. It's at 100%. If I go to the last keyframe, it's at 133%. So that's the distance that it went. I animated it from 100% size to 133% size. And it looks like where I actually start to show this clip, it's already at 110%, growing to 133. And then all the text down here. Again, it's just, oh. Hide the animations. This guy down here. Here we are. Clicking on the wrong thing. This has different fonts and all over different stuff. That's a DIN font. Face is just white. And it doesn't go anywhere. It's just text that I plopped on there. So it's very basic text, and then I just throw it over something cool. And I have this part of the clip without any blurring. I have this part with blurring, Gaussian blur, and I just used a dissolve filter between the two versions of the same clip. So I didn't keyframe the amount of blur. I just dissolved between a non-blurred and a blurred version. And also at the time of dissolving into the blurred version, I also slowly fade in the ProPixie stuff. And because I added a clip, that new clip from MSNBC, it's pushed all this other stuff outside of where I originally ended it. So I got to go back out to the main piece right here, and now drag this out to fit the rest of it. Now, of course, this also means that the timing of the music is going to end sooner than I would like, because I added a full 2 seconds to it.
When we stand...
Oops. Let's activate the audio.
Enough is enough. When we stand together, there is nothing, there is nothing, there is nothing we cannot accomplish.
So the music is ending already, and that's just awkward. So what do? Well, if I take this and just start dragging it to where I need it to go, then these two don't line up anymore. Now this ends...
Hobson by 19.
Breaking news right now. We've got a race, folks.
Cruz leads Clinton in both states, while Sanders
all
still
this
beats
time.
the Texas senator.
Bernie Sanders with his biggest lead.
So those don't line up at all. Now I could start pulling out this song, and because I extended it some, but then the transition between this and this aren't going to line up anymore. So you see, just doing one little thing affects something else, which affects something else, which affects something else. and it becomes a nightmare, and that's why I can never really keep the music exactly the same, and that's a big reason why I try different songs to see if something else just works better for me. What I could possibly do is keep everything back in its original positions and then just pull them out. What's the word I'm looking for? Stretch out the speed so it goes a little bit slower and takes a little bit longer time to get there. That can be an option, but sometimes slowing a song down, you can just feel that it's a little too slow and it just doesn't feel right. You find yourself mentally trying to push the song faster, so it's tough. But there you go. That's the part of this video. That's the bonus part of this video, but my main thing was showing you how I go through grabbing a clip and putting it into the timeline. So thank you very much for watching.